YouTube, welcome in. I'm X here with Austin,
What's up?
and it's time for the X and Squad Talk Show again. I believe this is episode 11 or 12. Um, and Rockstar was supposed to join us this week, but he just kind of no showed. Steve-O claims he will be joining us next week. We shall see. So we're going to go with two football oriented topics this week. And Austin has the first topic this week.
Yeah, we're exclusively a football podcast now, folks. All right, so question number one that I'm going to be starting with the draft having gone through and us starting to get a better idea of what our team's finalized structure is going to look like going into next season. I have a question that I think is interesting and isn't asked quite enough when it comes to different teams. My question is, who is your team's most underrated player? Somebody that doesn't get the recognition they deserve, could be because of the position they play, or just because they don't get the presence and the media recognition that they deserve.
And being a Bengals fan, I'm gonna have to go with well, I wanted to say DJ Turner, but he had a pretty good season this past season. But I think I might actually have to go with Chris Jenkins. Uh, I think I think Chris Jenkins on the front line of the defense. He's fast. He's powerful. He should be able to get to the quarterback as often as, let's say, Dexter Lawrence, who is new to Cincy. Okay, maybe he's not on sexy Dexy's level, but he should at least be able to get in there more often than he does. Um, I don't know if they're just double teaming him because there's not many people on the defensive line. But I think he's going to be a name to look forward to, look out for rather, this upcoming season. Now that Sexy Dexy is out of the Bengals, along with Quiddy Pay. No, Quiddy Pay went to Vegas. Never mind, not Quiddy Pay. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Chris Jenkins. I might
I
be a
think
little
Jenkins is a
biased on
great
him though.
choice.
I might be a little biased on him because I got him in Madden, and he does really good in Madden. But
I think Jenkins is a really great choice, and I think he's going to be one of those players that this coming season, just the presence of Dexter Lawrence is going to make him that much stronger
Mhm.
because Lawrence is going to be drawing that much more as far as like double teams and stuff like that. So this really should be an opportunity for him to shine some more. Uh, for my Rams, I've got to go with someone that I think their underratedness shows quite a bit with the discussion around the draft. I've got to go with Warren McClendon, our new starting right tackle. The reason I got to go with Warren McClendon is the fact that we had a franchise right tackle for the longest time. Rob Havenstein, he's the last the St. Louis Rams, absolute just phenomenal player within the franchise, been with us for years and just retired this year. Uh, but the thing is, when he spent most of last season on the bench or on IR because of injuries, and the man that stood up to take his place was, I believe he was a third round pick, Warren McClendon, who stepped in and immediately was ranked as like third or fourth best right tackle in the league. And yet, with how well he performed, every time he had to slot in for Rob Havenstein, you still heard so many people saying, okay, the Rams should take a receiver or they should take a tackle. Like, why do we need a tackle? We need a tackle for depth, maybe, and we got one in the later rounds, but we're good at right tackle. Warren McClendon, he has absolutely stepped up and done a phenomenal job in a position that really doesn't get that much recognition.
I'll agree with that. But for me, for me, I think the Rams' most underrated person is Tutu. I feel like Tutu Atwell doesn't get the recognition that he deserves. Um, uh, he should
I think
be
you mean former
at least
Ram
wide receiver
Tutu
two.
Atwell.
Huh?
I think you mean former Ram Tutu Atwell.
Whoa, yeah. Never mind. He's no longer
And,
underrated on the
and
Rams.
even Even then, I wouldn't say that he was the most underrated, maybe most underutilized, because it really did not seem that Sean McVay knew what to do with him.
Yeah, he should have been a slot receiver, always going out deep. Well, maybe not always going out deep, but at least a slot receiver.
Yeah, and one of the most frustrating things with Tutu, and I believe we've discussed this before, is every single season with the Rams, he would have at least one catch that would be like, holy crap, that was amazing. That was an incredible play. Why aren't they using him more? And then we would not use him more.
Yeah, exactly. Where did he end up going? Not to digress on our topic, but
I think he's going to be a Dolphin. Let me double check on that.
so Malik Willis might actually have somebody to throw to.
Yeah, no kidding. And yes, he is a Miami Dolphin.
All right, yeah. So Malik Willis might have somebody to actually throw to this season. Because other than that, he ain't got nobody.
Nope. Devon Achan, you're slotting in at receiver.
Yeah, I
Good luck.
mean, Achan is probably the best player on that team right now, especially on the offense.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I had to think about it for a sec. And the fact that I can only name two other people on their offense, I think says a lot.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, McClellan. Um, yeah, he seems like he's going to be really good going forward, and he's going to help. He's going to help Mr. Stafford and who's your new quarterback? Alar?
Ty Simpson.
Oh, Simpson. That's right.
No, Alar is a Steeler.
Oh yeah,
They've
because
got a
they
great
need
history
another
with big
quarterback.
quarterbacks. Yeah, they've got a great history with quarterbacks out of Pitt.
Mm, yeah. Uh, they're trying to be the Browns with their quarterback room. Like they're just, oh, give us all the quarterbacks. They haven't found the right one yet. They haven't found
Nope, that
anybody
is.
to be the new Ben Roethlisberger. Like
Nope.
because it ain't Rodgers.
Let this be your lesson to be here, Rockstar, because you're not here to defend your boys.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Actually, in a video that I just posted about opening cards, I got a Will Howard card, and I mentioned Rockstar in that part. Also mentioned Austin in the little section where I got a Ram. I think I only got one Ram, and it was Puka, so can't go wrong with Puka Nakua. Um,
Yeah,
but
talk about an underrated player. I don't think anybody's ever heard of that kid.
yeah, he was underrated in the first 2 weeks of his career.
And at no point thereafter.
Exactly. So now we're gonna move on to the big topic of the week. Um, hopefully, it doesn't take too long because the better half will be home in about an hour. Um, no, she's getting out of work in about an hour, but I still got a couple things I got to do around the house. Happy wife,
I
happy
hope we're
life.
not talking about this for an hour. That take like 10 minutes per division.
Yeah, I mean it could, but who do we think is going to win each division going forward in this upcoming season? I mean, it might be too early to tell, but uh, since we were just talking about the Dolphins, though, and how terrible they are going to be, let's start with the AFC East. And I will let you start off with the AFC East this time.
All right, the AFC East. So let's just acknowledge that this is a two-horse race. It's going to be the Bills or it's going to be the Patriots. And I think that this is going to be a real test for the Patriots this year because there was so much hoopla made about their schedule, and it's just a fact. It was a relatively easy schedule, all things considered. It's not going to be anywhere near as easy this year, so this is going to be a serious prove it year for Drake May, for Vrabel, for a lot of the people on that team and on that staff. And for that reason, I got to go with the Buffalo Bills. As long as Josh Allen is, mostly healthy, they are going to be contenders. And they're almost always going to be shooing for the playoffs. And I think looking at their schedule versus the Patriots, I think they've got a really good shot at winning the AFC East.
And I'm immediately going to disagree. Um, I actually think it's going to be the Patriots because with the Bills in this past season making it to the playoffs and then not doing anything afterwards, um, their confidence level is going to go down now. And where uh, okay, they got DJ Moore, but DJ Moore is on his last leg. Other than that, the Bills got nobody to throw it to. I think their running back is overrated. It's Singletary, right? I think it's
James
Singletary.
Cook.
Huh?
James Cook, unless he
Oh,
left in
okay.
the offseason.
Okay. James Cook. I stick by what I said. I still think he's overrated. Um, and I think the Patriots just have a better defense, which Drake May still doesn't really have anybody to throw it to, especially now with no Stephon Diggs. Uh, I love Keishon Booty, but he is not wide receiver one. And yeah, I just think the defense is going to carry them. I do think that the Jets are going to be third in the division, though. I think they've upgraded enough to be number three.
I think they've upgraded enough to be number three, and I think that the Dolphins have downgraded enough to be. Uh, can they add a fourth team or a fifth team so that the Dolphins can take fifth place? Um, they are full in on the march for Arch. So let's
Absolutely,
that's
absolutely. Yeah.
I
They're
just hope it's
definitely
entertaining.
they're definitely tanking for number one. Um, but now let's
I
move
think
over.
one of the biggest questions with the Bills this year, I think, is going to be their head coaching situation, going from Sean McDermott to Sean McDermott light. Uh, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, yeah, especially with the new coach, that makes it even more difficult for the Bills to get it too. Yeah. Speaking of a new coach, let's go to the the NFC East. Let's stick it on the East. Stay on the East. This is going to be a shocker. Oh man, no, I can't say it. I can't. I cannot say. I cannot say the Giants are going to win it. I think they're going to be in the hunt. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. But I'm gonna have to go. Damn, this might be the toughest division. This might be the toughest division in football this season because the Commanders are always contenders. The Eagles are, former Super Bowl champs. The Cowboys are always right on that cusp as well. And now the Giants with John Harbaugh. Oh, I really want the Giants to win it, but I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be the Eagles again. I just can't I can't bring myself to go full gung ho on the Giants.
I think the Giants are 1 year away from being serious competitors. 1 year of Harbaugh settling in and another really solid draft and free agency. I think they've definitely got a shot at taking the division. I don't think it's going to be this year. Again, it's a race between two teams, and I've got to disagree. I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys.
Ooh,
The Dallas Cowboys, if you look at the way their offense were performing last season, if they just had like the 29th ranked defense in the league, they instead of the 32nd, they would have been competitors. They would have been in the playoffs. So just by grace of the fact that they're going to not be hopefully the worst defense in the entire NFL going into next season, they're going to be serious contenders. Dak has consistently been a phenomenal quarterback. Doesn't get near. If he were playing for any team other than the Cowboys, I think he would get a lot more respect than he does.
same thing with
But
his
yeah, it's
receiving
really
core.
going to come down. Yeah, it's going to come down to the Eagles or the Cowboys, and it's honestly a bit of a coin flip. But I got to go with the Cowboys this time around.
See, for me, the Cowboys are basically the NFC equivalent of the Bengals. High-powered, amazing offense. Defense leaves much to be desired. But well, both teams. I think both teams have upgraded their defense. I know for a fact the Bengals have. But speaking of the Bengals, let's go AFC North next. And I'll let you go first on the AFC North.
All right, you're gonna like my answer because for the AFC North, I got to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. I think the Ravens are going to be a good team this year, but I think there is going to be a lot of uncertainty with Jesse Minter. I think he's going to be a good head coach, but I think there are going to be some growing pains. He is a much more, or he's a defensive-minded head coach, which is going to be right in line with the way that Harbaugh ran that team. It's really just going to come down to can the offense click? Can Lamar stay on the field? And it's going to be a similar case with the Bengals. As long as Joe Burrow stays healthy, the Bengals are going to be competitors. And as long as your defense is just able to be more than a paper towel, I think the Bengals have a really solid shot at taking the division. I think it's going to be more competitive than last year. Um, I think the Browns should be a better team this season, even with Predator under center. And the Steelers, well, we don't know with the Steelers. Mike Tomlin's not gone, so we don't know if they're going to have a winning record or not.
Valid. Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on this one. I mean, obviously, being the Bengals fan, I'm going to say the Bengals, but I agree with Harbaugh out of Baltimore. I don't know if the Ravens are going to be that number one, number two, even maybe even number three team. Like, um, they've been known for their defense over the couple decades that they've been around, but I don't foresee their defense being what it used to be. And Lamar, I mean, he's got a few people to throw it to and whatever, and he's got his legs, but I don't think he's got it this year. Uh, and as you mentioned with the Steelers, I think the Steelers are finally going to be bottom of the barrel. Finally. Um, but uh, as far as the Browns go, every year they should be better than last year, but they really haven't been ever. Not since like Bernie Kosar have they
You never
really
know with
been good.
Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, actually, the Browns were really good once they left Cleveland and became the Ravens.
Yep.
But yeah, our defense has been improved a lot over this past off season with, as I mentioned earlier, Sexy Dexy. Uh, DJ Turner has been doing really good. Demetrius Knight Jr. had a great rookie season, and Chris Jenkins should be doing really good this season. And Brian Cook as the new safety. I think he's going to be an upgrade over Geno Stone. But yeah, I think the Bengals are definitely taking it this time this season. Let's move on to the NFC North now. Um, oof, this is a tough one for me. Like this is
This
a tough
division is
one
going to be a bloodbath.
because yeah, agreed. It's going to definitely be a bloodbath. I think all four of these teams are going to be very close. I think whoever wins this division is going to win it by like a game, maybe two. And I want to say I don't want to say Packers. Like it might end up being the Packers, but and with Caleb Williams being on the cover of Madden 27, he's gonna have a Danhausen. Um, I'm gonna have to go with the is it the Vikings or the Lions? I'm gonna go with Dan Campbell. I'm gonna go with the Lions. I think Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams. That offense is just too high powered. Um, I think they picked up a really good running back in the offseason too to go along with Jameer Gibbs. I can't remember who they picked up, but I'm pretty sure they picked up a good number two.
Kareem Hunt, I think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because Sonic lost Knuckles, but he found Shadow.
yeah. Yeah, they get that. And as long as Dan Campbell can do what he did 2 years ago, As long as he can call plays like he did 2 years ago. Last season was oof. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Lions.
Yeah, I'm gonna start off by saying I'm going with the Lions as well. This division is going to be an absolute meat grinder. I do think it's going to come down to the Lions and the Vikings. If you look at how they performed last year, if the Vikings just had mediocre quarterback play, they would have been a playoff team.
Yeah.
But they had nine under center, and ugh, they they went from 9 to 5-9. So I think Kyler, as long as if he performs half as well as he did his rookie season, that phenomenal rookie season that he had, then they should absolutely be contenders. I'm not going to say that I think that Dan Campbell's going to be in the hot seat this season. I don't think he's getting fired or there's any like real risk of him getting fired. But if they don't make the playoffs and they don't perform well this season, I think there's going to start being some questions asked of, is Dan Campbell just a culture guy, or is he really the guy that can call plays and lead this team into the promised land? And I think he can, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be such a tough division this year. I think everybody beats everybody is what I'm doing in my predictions. Everybody gets one win and one loss against each other. The North is going to be brutal.
Yeah, I don't foresee Dan Campbell being a flash in the pan culture guy, as you put it. But I mean, we never know. The only way I foresee him getting fired is if they do even worse than they did last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they finish like 3-14, then there might be some talk,
Yeah,
but it's going to take a monumental collapse
yeah.
for
Because
him to
then
seriously be on the
he'll go
hot seat.
from up here to down here to down here, and
And,
being on
and
the
and see,
decline
that's what
is
I'm
never
saying
good.
is, yeah, that's what I'm saying is I don't think that he's on the hot seat, but I do think that there's going to start being some questions depending on how the season goes for them.
Yeah. So now we've done the East and the North. Let's move down to the South, the AFC South, that is. Um, and I'll let you go first on this one.
Oh, the South. Somebody has to be the kings of crap mountains. Uh, I will say the South, both NFC and AFC, they are improving. They are leaps and bounds ahead of where they were a few years ago. I still don't think either division is going to be particularly good. Um,
Agreed.
I This was a tough one because it feels like so many of these are just a two-horse race, and the South feels the same way. I am going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I'm not super firm on them. I think they've made the necessary moves to be in a pretty good position for next season. Liam Cohen had a phenomenal first season as head coach. I'm looking forward to seeing what more he can do. Trevor Lawrence finally looks like the guy that they promised us he would be. Um, but it's going to be so tough because as long as CJ Stroud just calms the down and like plays at just an okay level, that defense should be able to carry him to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But can he chill out, take some medication before the game and like smoke a bowl and just chill? Uh, because good lord, watching him get so squirrely there at the end of last season was tough. But yeah, it's the Jags for me, and honestly, I could see it being the Texans just as easily. Feels like a coin flip.
See, I'm gonna agree with you on the two horse race. However, the Jaguars weren't one of my two horses. It was for me. It was between the Texans and the Colts because Daniel Jones has resurrected his own career in Indy with help from Michael Pittman, who is no longer there, Alec Pierce, Jonathan Taylor, like, and now they got Sauce Gardner too, which I kind of feel bad for him going from a losing team to becoming a losing team. But yeah, I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
go.
that
Huh?
Sauce Gardner had the single worst winning record of any player last season, and that's tough.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have a feeling he's gonna be out for revenge this upcoming season. Unfortunately, that means Stroud might struggle a little bit against Indy. But I am picking the Strouds. I think the Texans are the best all around team in that division. Um, I also think Stroud is the best quarterback in that division. Me personally, um, I think Daniel Jones is right up there. T Law is right up there. I can't even call him Fabio anymore because he cut off his locks. Um, and then I can't even remember who the fourth team is in that division. Oh, the Titans. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, I was a Titans fan. Like, I started going from the Bengals to the Titans when Carl Pickens got traded, and I liked Derek Mason, Steve McNair, Eddie George, Kevin Dyson. But the Titans of today are a completely different team with no stars. Cam Ward is not a star. Um, Tony
I,
Pollard might be their best player if he's even still there.
man, I never realized you had to watch my team beat both of yours in the Super Bowl. That's rough.
Yes, sir. 1 yard away. 1 yard away.
I will say Steve McNair deserved better.
Absolutely. He deserved better in life and career. But
Yeah, rest in peace, man.
yeah, not touching that subject right now.
Just
Yeah.
try to keep it upbeat.
So my yeah, my pick is definitely the Texans. Um, Now we move on to the NFC South, which, you could say it's a two-horse race all you want. I think the NFC South is just Baker, just the Bucks. The only other team that might give them a shot, I think, might be Atlanta, because the Panthers, eh, I don't think so. I don't think Bryce Young is on that level. I know it's a team game. It's not just the quarterbacks, but I mean, I'm just gonna throw it out there. It's definitely the Bucks. Until any other NFC South team steps up, it's gonna be the Bucks.
Honestly, I feel like the NFC South is one of the only divisions in the league right now that it is wide open. If it's the Panthers, I wouldn't be shocked. If it's the Saints, I wouldn't be shocked. If it's the Bucks, if it's the Falcons, any one of them could win their division with a winning record or a losing record, and I would not be surprised. Uh, that being said, I am going to go with the New Orleans Saints.
Ooh,
Uh, Saints
stop.
performed they exceeded expectations last season, I'd say. Tyler Shuck exceeded all expectations. I don't think anybody expected that out of him. So I just feel like they're a team that if they can get everything pieced together, they got a solid head coach that looks like they've got their quarterback. As long as everybody can stay healthy and everybody can perform at the level they expect them to, they should be a lot more competitive than people are giving them credit for. I think the Buccaneers are going to suffer a lot from the loss of Mike Evans. Granted, he didn't play much last season, but
Or the season before, or the
I
season
just,
before that.
yeah, and I'm a Baker truther. I love Baker, Rams legend Baker Mayfield. Um, but there's a feeling in my gut that I don't know about the Bucks this year, man. I hope I'm proven wrong. Um, and hey, one thing that I can say about the Southeast this year that I wasn't able to say a few seasons ago, they're exciting. Both the
I'll agree
AFC
with
and
that.
NFC South, I'm excited and I'm curious to see what happens.
Don't forget though, they have somebody who might end up being better than Mike Evans in Mecca Mbuka.
It's very true.
Because I mean,
And
at least he hasn't been injured yet.
yeah, they didn't he miss some time last season?
Uh, I don't know, but he didn't miss
Uh,
as much as Mike Evans.
Yeah, they've also got a Batman villain ready to wreck shit on the defense. So
Yeah, Vita Vea.
I was talking about Ruben Bain.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Gotcha, gotcha. Reference makes more sense now. But I mean, Vita Vea looks more like Bane than Ruben Bane. Yeah, right. Oh, what do we got now? The West.
Yes, sir.
Do I want to finish the video with your division? I guess so. But so I'll let you go with the AFC West, the division that we live in. Um, I'll let you go with them first.
We are in the heart of Broncos country, and you get to get away with wearing a ton of orange. Um,
Hey, you
I
get to
get
wear blue.
mistaken as a Chargers. Hey, I get mistaken as a Chargers fan all the time, and it deeply upsets me. Um, I'm not a Chargers fan. The Chargers pay rent. Um,
Nobody's a
for
Giants
the
fan.
AFC West, this is going to be a much more interesting division, I think, than a lot of the other ones we just discussed. I think like the AFC or the NFC South, I feel like it's pretty wide open. I think the Raiders are probably going to come in last, but I will not be surprised if they make noise this season. Even with Kirk Cochains under center, I think they've got the pieces to be a competitive football team. Uh, the Chargers, my patience is running out for Justin Herbert. I don't know how else to put it. Um, and then the Broncos and the Chiefs, man, that is a rivalry for the decades. Mahomes and Knicks both coming off of injuries that ended their seasons at various points. Uh, it's going to be a tough one, but I've got to go with the Denver Broncos to repeat. That defense can just shred anybody that they come into contact with, and their schedule is pretty manageable. I think they've got a really solid shot. I will not be surprised if the Chiefs take the AFC West, but for right now, I got to go with the Broncos, given what I've seen.
I agree that the West is wide open. I do think the Raiders are probably going to be third, fourth. They might be third. Um, and for me, Justin Herbert has always been in the same boat as Trevor Lawrence, where he's just kind of there. He's a little overrated, in my opinion. Um, but there's like he's not terrible, but he's not elite as people think he is. Um,
He's just Justin Herbert is the greatest hypothetical quarterback of all time because you see, if he has a better O line, then he's going to be good, and if he has better receivers, and if he has a good tight end core, and if he has a better coach, and if he has a better DC, and if
yeah,
he has a good secondary, and so on and so forth.
he's Baker Mayfield. Uh, no,
Pretty much, yeah.
Baker's
Without the
better.
charm.
um, I'm gonna have to agree. Broncos definitely. You know, being in Broncos country has nothing to do with it. Before we get any comments about that, if we do, um, but yeah, before the comments start going off, oh, you guys just think the Broncos because you're in Broncos country. Yeah, we work with more Chiefs fans than Broncos fans. Um,
It's not as if we've got Broncos fans waiting outside our door to beat us up.
yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't know about you.
No, 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 because I talk good about the Broncos. I like Bo Nix. I like Marvin Mims. Um, I'm not a big fan of Cortland Sutton, but um, I don't
Yes,
think
too.
the Chief. I kind of don't think the Chiefs are going to be second though. Um, I think the Mahomes and the Chiefs, especially the whole team of the Chiefs, are on the decline. Um, I think it's partial. I'm going to partially blame Rasheed Rice because if he wasn't getting in so much trouble, Mahomes would actually have somebody good to throw it to. Um, and I mean, Xavier Worthy isn't bad, but all he's all that's left. Because Kelsey did retire, or is he coming back one last season?
He's old as dust, but he's coming back for one season. And that's the thing is you've got a tight end that's phenomenal, but is getting up there in years, and you've got Xavier Worthy, who's made of cut glass and breaks at the slightest impact.
And
So
he's
yeah,
got Quentin Johnston hands.
yep,
Oh, Quentin Johnston though did step up last season. I'll give him credit. He finally did
yep,
pretty good. He you know he's
yep, massive
now
improvement.
above John Ross. Um, but yeah, it's definitely going to be the Broncos in my opinion. Um, and I don't think Kirk Chains is going to be there the whole season. I don't think he's going to be starting the whole season. They're definitely going to give the reins over to Fernando at some point. but there's not too many better quarterbacks to learn behind. Kirk Chains might get some flack, but he knows what he's doing. He's lasted longer
Yeah,
than the person who was drafted in the same class to the same team in
to,
RG3.
to, to, to be fair, RG3's body exploded, so Uh, I think that was a better factor than actual skill. But I do totally agree. Kirk's a great guy to learn behind. He's way better than I think people give him credit for. Um, as long as he continues to improve coming off the Achilles injury from 2 seasons ago, I think he should be
Yeah.
pretty solid. And I do agree. I think that Fernando is going to be stepping up probably in the latter half of the season
Yeah.
just to get some reps under his belt.
Yeah, see what he can do and all that. I mean, at least they still got Ashton Genty and Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer.
Yeah, and see now they've got a coach and an OC that should actually know how to use them.
They just need somebody better than Trey Tucker.
Yep.
All right. So, on to your division now, the NFC West. And I'm going to have to go with Steve Young, Jerry Rice, and the 49ers. No, I'm just kidding. Um, I would love to go with Brock Purdy and the 49ers. The only team I don't think is going to win, the Cardinals. I don't think the Cardinals have a shot. Uh,
Oh, right. The Cardinals are in this division.
yeah, Arizona has no shot. They had no shot with Kyler Murray. They have less of a shot without him. Um, but I think it's a three-headed dragon with the Niners, the Super Bowl winning Seahawks, and your Rams. Um, unfortunately, I am not going to pick the Rams. Um, I think Stafford's just getting too up there in age. Um, Simpson might take over and do good, but I don't think he's going to do amazing in year one. Um, do I just go? Yeah, I mean, I just kind of have to just have to go with the Super Bowl, the reigning Super Bowl champs. I don't I don't foresee the Niners overcoming. Um, I mean, don't get me wrong, they are amazing, especially considering every year at least 1 to 3 of their main stars gets hurt, and they still continue to win. Um, next man up mentality that the 49ers have that. Um, so I think it's going to be a big battle between the Niners and the Rams for who's coming in second. I think the Seahawks once again have the division. Um, unfortunate. I mean, I'm not a big Seahawks guy, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I just had one comment to make about the Cardinals. Is a player that interests me coming into this season is going to be Carson Beck, because he's an interesting player because he's on offense. But if you look at the animal kingdoms, a creature that their eyes are set on the side is usually a prey animal, which you'd think that mean they'd be on defense. So I that's just going to be interesting. Um,
Is he going to be able
sorry,
to
Carson.
find Marvin though?
I yeah, he's going to have a good view of the field. Um, but does he have the depth perception?
Yeah.
Um, as much as it hurts me to say, I think the NFC West is again going to be a meat grinder. It's going to be, uh, I think the wild card spots are going to come down to the West and the North in the NFC as to who's going to get them. And I think there's going to be a good chance that a team with a winning record is going to miss the playoffs this year from one or both divisions. And as much as it hurts me to say, I'm also not going with my Rams. Uh, and I have to disagree. I have to go with the San Francisco 49ers.
Ooh.
Um, and a lot of that comes down to their strength of schedule. They don't have a cakewalk, but they have a very beatable schedule, especially compared to the Rams and the Seahawks. Um, I can see this being a case of everybody beats everybody again, except for the Cardinals. We all get free wins against the Cardinals. The Cardinals are the only ones that don't benefit because they don't get free wins against the Cardinals every year. Um, but but the 49ers, as long as just like half of their team stays healthy, then I think they've got a shot. And if they don't, then they need to blow up the substation, and just start from scratch. But I think the 49ers, they're built for success. As long as Kyle Shanahan's coaching the team, they're going to be contenders because that man can make a Super Bowl caliber roster out of a box of scraps,
Apparently.
as he's consistently done every season. Um, so no, yeah, it's I think it's going to come down to 2 or 3 wins between the three of us, and I think there's a good chance that one of us misses the playoffs this season with a winning record. But we shall see.
Yeah, I just remembered that the Seahawks also got rid of K9, and that might hurt. That might hurt them.
Yep, their Super Bowl MVP.
Yep. And didn't he end up going to KC?
Yep, he's the Chiefs' new running back one.
Eesh. Yeah. I should have done more
Which
research.
I will say, yeah, I will say. I mean, no disrespect towards K9. K9's a very solid running back, but he succeeded most of the season based on the fact that he was running with Charbonnet. The two were sharing duties. And people are saying like, "Oh, K9 really had a phenomenal season last year." Yes, it's also the first season that he's played every single game.
Yeah.
Uh, I hate throwing around the label injury prone, but I'd be hesitant to give the bag to a guy who has so much trouble staying on the field. I will say I'm happy to not have him in my division anymore.
I wish I could have said the same about Trey Hendrickson. Um, but yeah, him. I mean, K9 was amazing before the injuries, though. Like I, uh, as we know, I collect cards, and one of the cards I have is like his speed record. Like I don't remember exactly what it was, but like he was just always a fast dude. But being injury prone in the backfield, that just comes with the position. Uh, Running back lives are like a housefly. I mean, it, if you have longevity, you are a beast. Hence, Derrick Henry. Hence,
I was going to say hi, Derrick Henry.
yeah. Uh, can't even think of anybody else. I was gonna say Christian McCaffrey, but that man has one
Well,
full season.
well, Christian McCaffrey was also like draining the health of his teammates last season to keep himself healthy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which I'm curious, are he and Mike Evans going to like share reps on who does the draining this season, or
You know, you picked them to win.
yes, I did. And who knows? Maybe I'm trying to jinx them.
Hey, I mean, they won't be as jinxed as the Chicago Bears. I'll tell you that. Um,
Oh, Caleb.
Sorry, Caleb. Uh, I guess we'll never see his true potential. But I think that wraps up
Well,
the
we knew that
episode
when
for
he
this
was drafted to the Chicago Bears.
week. Yeah, they haven't had a good quarterback since Jim McMahon
Did you know that they have not had a 4,000-yard passer since Caleb
ever.
Williams? And now that they have Caleb Williams, they still don't have a 4,000-yard passer.
Exactly, and they never will. Uh, unless unless Caleb proves everybody wrong, breaks the curse, and goes on an epic run. And if he does,
Watch
you heard it here first.
just watch. The curse says Caleb has like a 5,000-yard season, and yet they finish like 3-14.
Ooh, that sounds like my Madden. That sounds like me and Madden with DJ Stroud. uh,
Oh Lord.
but I think that concludes this episode. Um, Comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Like the video, subscribe, click the notification bell, share with a friend, join the Discord, and we'll see you in the next one.